It's day 23, and here's my little update. It is now 6 o'clock in the evening. I've spent most of the time editing yesterday's video and getting some chores done around the house. But I'm now ready to spend the whole evening drawing. So there's not going to be a lot of talk. I would like to say yesterday's video I edited on the Mac, and once again I'm reminded just how long it takes to render. It's 2 hours. 2 hours for a 12-minute video, and then I'm gonna have to cut it up and upload it, so it might take a little longer to get to you. The reason I did take my time, I spent quite a bit of time, way more than an hour, editing it and taking bits out and moving things around and making it look fun. But I'm glad I spent a little bit of time. I really feel like the little exercise of taking a small book and writing the story in there, the beginning, the middle, and the end. And I basically did the beginning and somewhat of the end, but it really helped crystallize like what it is that I'm doing for these first 10 pages. So I think even though this weekend I didn't get a lot of art done, the ideas and how I wrote them down and then tried to get them out of my mouth on video, I think it was very helpful. And I really have a good idea now who all of these people are. I know that there are 4 who I still need to come up with sketches for. Like I'm looking at my layouts on the wall. There's lots of pages with lots of dialogue. There's a lot of story I want to hint at in those first 10 pages, as I was saying yesterday. And I think I have a much better idea what it is they're going to be thinking about, whether or not they are going to actually talk about them. Kind of like the underlying currents, or the one of my questions I posed to myself earlier was, what was it they were doing before they got the signal? Like now I have a much better idea. I know I'm stumbling over my words, but I've just eaten a lot of pizza and now I'm very dozy. So you know what that means. More coffee. Oh yes. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. I'm gonna make updates like every hour and a half, 2 hours or so, and then splice them all together. Day 23 of my 100 days of making comics. This is Jan. I finished up the final panel, first page. It's taken me quite some time to get to this point, huh? There's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I had to kind of sort out. Overall, I'm very curious how this is going to look once I take the blues out. But I think it's been very helpful inking in this way on top of what looks like a watercolor painting. It really speeds things up for me. And it's really allowed me to fill things in as I go along and kind of freestyle it just a little bit, while having enough to worry about, because there's an awful lot on this page that I didn't really know how to draw. Like, how do you draw the clouds dispersing by being waved away? How do you draw someone like this? Or distant rock formations on what looks like an alien world. The outburst of light. I mean, there's an awful lot here that I've probably, I've seen so many times in comic books, and what I find is that an awful lot of it, I just started filling in the way I thought it would look in a comic book, and I found myself drawing in the style of some of my favorite artists, I guess. There was one point where I did kind of tried to stop and think about it, but I didn't find that very helpful. Like, there's definitely some incoherence here and there. Like, for example, now that I can look at it like this, I find things a little too dark here, but I think that helps the overall page. When I have time, after I've scanned this in, I would like to correct some lines here or here. I would like to have a little bit more detail here. There's some things I really learned, like these clouds, these billowing clouds. I find them a little too thin. But over here, I really like the thickness of the lines over here as opposed to over here. Like, it doesn't quite come out right over here. But now that it's finished, I can look at these things and take a step back and see where I need to improve. But I'm very happy with the overall result. I think for page 2, I'm going to try and do the same. Pencil it, scan it in, things out with this very thick pencil. Scan it in, turn it into blues, paint it to add some light and dark. And so I have a better idea of what role color is going to play later. And then just ink it. Go right at it. So let's see if I can do this all today and save myself some time, since I still have a few hours left before it's time to go to bed on time, early. So yeah, let's not hesitate. Let's go. Check out my roughs for page 2. Woo. I'm quite happy with how it's turning out. The only thought I'm having right now that I have the whole thing in front of me is so I have the thumbnails right here. What if I just shrink this to here and then put page 3 there? It's the thing I'm thinking. I mean, I'm quite fond of how this looks, and I think it's a nice big introduction of the mining vessel as it's crunching down the rocks. But it really is just 3 panels, so I'm wondering if it's too little for a whole page. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it, and I've just scanned in my my pictures. Let's see how they came out. Here we go, side by side. The inks scanned in. Gonna take the blues out. Oh, the blues are looking really blue on my phone. And pencils once again. So let's see what we can do digitally. The only thing I'm afraid of now, also because this actually happened last time. Last time I started messing around in Photoshop and I crashed my computer, jinxing my upload. And it's a big one. Day 22 is taking its sweet time. I'm like, is it Mondays? Are Mondays the problem with uploading? I'm wondering, because it's quite slow today. It's 10 hours. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm a little worried about that, but at the same time, I don't want to stop because I'm on a roll. I finished page 1 today. I did a big video edit of the day before where I really got my thinking organized about all the characters and what they get up to. Kind of organized per group, so the corporate layer over here, the taskmaster and his team, and then the kids on the bottom. That was day 22. But it's time to finish this up. It's time to move along, get as much done as possible, because 2 doubles this week and a trip to the mainland. So I'm not gonna have a lot of time. So I really have to get moving. Here goes. Tablet out. I'm not going to draw on the Cintiq because day 23 continued. I've got my roughs up. I've got my inks up. I'm going to take the blues out over here, and hopefully all the finer lines will stay intact. I'm pretty sure I know how to do that. It shouldn't be too hard. And then over here, I'm gonna start making these letters fit where I want them. Resize things a little bit and start coloring it very much like over here in the blues, so I can print it out. And then hopefully get started on inks as well. It is now almost 11, so I've been at it for a while. So yes, so I hope to get started on the inks. It is now 11 o'clock. The upload will probably be done 6 o'clock in the morning, who knows. And then hopefully this one will continue right after. So you get 2 videos in one day. 2 for the price of 1. That is a discount on 100 Days of Making Comics with me, Jan, your friendly host, all the way from London. Stay put. Let's get this show going. Open with moment of truth. Will Photoshop open or crash? Will it crash later on? Who knows? Look at those sweet lines. Oh look, I can see pixels finally. That looks very awkward. Anyway. There's definitely some cleaning up I would like to do. I'm gonna get started on page 2 and leave cleaning up for later, but there's definitely some areas where I'm like over here. I don't know if you can even see my cursor. Like this area here, this could be a lot tighter. This is not very black. You notice, I don't know if it's so blown up, but it just feels like it's not black enough. Like look at this. It just feels like it's not black enough. Alright, I'm gonna have a look here. There's a lot of browns in my ink, it seems. Opa. So yes, I lost a lot of fidelity on that one. And I still have blue. Damn you. Man, that sucks. So how do we do this? Is there some trick? Did I just not ink it right? Did I not ink this right? Like what have I done? Like why are all these lines? Am I just looking too close? Should I print it out and just go over it by hand? Barely squeeze in. Alright, day 23 update. As you just may have seen if I kept it in, I've taken the blues out. That took way too long. Like I'm messing around, I'm losing a lot of ink, but then I'm starting to think that maybe they're not black enough to begin with. So I don't know, like are these pens not dark enough? Was the blue too blue, and should I have printed it off lighter? What is the easiest way to get rid of them? You know, because that took too long. That took like 20 minutes of me messing around trying to figure it out. I don't know, but it is only my first time, my first page that I'm trying to get this done, so I don't think it's the end of the world, but I am going to move forward. I'm just going to print off a copy and I'm going to look at the roughs and see what I can do there before it's midnight, because we are going to bed on time today. I don't want to be that exhausted again and get nothing done during the day, during those few hours I have for myself not working. I feel like the rocks flying off are very 2D, and flying off more to the side than across. So I might have to add something there. I quite like how the figure came out. I hadn't really finalized the designs for the helmet, so I just redrew something. This looks kind of cool. One thing that does stand out to me is instead of having them on the side on some platform's still there, but I figured it'd be hard to see with the glare, I just thought it'd be a lot cooler to have them on top. So here they are on top. He's running away, so they're now on top looking down. This needs to be a lot smaller. All of a sudden it just made sense to have really long shadows because of the beam of light over here. This figure needs to be a lot smaller, but that's okay because his shadow is going to be humongous. I like the expression. I like the cloth on the arm. That's cool. Pretty happy. I need to do the lettering. I need to crack that. All this technology and it doesn't want to work. Really rough. That looks messed up. Alright, I think it might just be a combination of pen's not being dark enough. So I might just have to trace it. That kind of sucks. That means more work on page 1. More work. Man, okay, I need to rethink how I do this. Sure, color would really help, but I think the outline needs to be a little bit thinner to make him stand out. Okay, lots of work to do. Let's keep moving along. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Day 23 is coming to an end. It is almost 1 o'clock, and I am calling it a night. So, I'll see you tomorrow.